What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nick, and I'm back with another video, as you can see. And before we get started, if this is your first time on my channel, please make sure you hit that like button if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and please don't forget to click that bell so you'll be notified whenever I do make new videos. You know what I'm saying, bro? And today's video we about to tune into, this is Michael Jackson's History 30th Anniversary, the album that spoke the truth. You know what I'm saying? The title speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, let's get straight into this video. You know what I'm saying?
Before history, Michael Jackson wasn't just the biggest star on the planet. He was untouchable. But by 1993, that all changed. The man who gave the world Thriller was suddenly being ripped apart in headlines. Allegations surfaced. The media pounced like vultures. Without a trial, without evidence, he was labeled guilty in the court of public opinion. Sponsorships vanished. Pepsi walked away. Journalists stopped calling him the king of pop and started calling him Wacko Jacko. Tabloids mocked his skin, his face, his voice, but they never mentioned his pain. Because behind the silence, Michael was crumbling. He disappeared from the spotlight. No albums, no interviews, no tours, just silence. People thought he was finished. But what they didn't know? Michael wasn't hiding. He was planning his loudest answer yet. While the world questioned him, Michael Jackson went to work in silence. But not just any work. This was war in the form of music. In 1991, he had already signed a groundbreaking $60 million deal with Sony. It was the biggest recording contract ever at the time. Now, with the pressure mounting, he was ready to cash in that power and use it to create his most important album yet. Over the next 2 years, Michael poured himself into the studio. He recorded over 100 songs. Every beat, every lyric, every breath, crafted with obsession. Not for the charts, but for truth. He didn't do it alone. He brought in the best of the best. Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, David Foster, R. Kelly. But make no mistake, this wasn't their story. It was his. Michael was the mastermind behind every layer, every detail. He recorded most of the album at his home studio in Neverland. Footage from that time shows him barefoot, pacing the room, lost in the music. Sometimes he'd sing the same line a dozen times until it felt just right. He layered vocals like symphonies, creating harmonies that sounded almost otherworldly. He wasn't chasing hits, he was building a message. And when it was finally ready, History wasn't just an album. It was an autobiography, a soundscape of betrayal, rage, heartbreak, and resilience. 15 new songs, 15 classics, 2 discs, 1 message. Now that the album was finished, it was time to speak. But Michael didn't scream into a microphone. He let the songs do it for him, and every track on History was like a page ripped out of his soul. Scream, the album's opening punch. A fiery duet with his sister Janet. This was no love song. This was rage. He was furious at the media, furious at the lies, the pressure, the manipulation. The song's beat was aggressive, the vocals fierce. He wasn't hiding.
Man, Michael just had enough, man. I think with this album, he just had enough of all the BS, bro. He had enough of it. You know what I'm saying? He got tired of his name being dragged and stuff like that, bro. Like, and he has every right, you know what I'm saying, to feel the way that he felt within this album. You know what I'm saying? And this album definitely grew on me. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I did not understand it, but it definitely grew on me as I got older. You know what I'm saying? Because I really didn't understand, like, where the album was coming from when I was a kid. But, like, he was talking his shit, and Michael was pissed.
Anymore. He was yelling back at the world that tried to tear him apart. Tired of injustice. Tired of the schemes. He was done playing nice. Then came They Don't Care About Us.
Yep.
One of the most controversial tracks of his career. It wasn't just catchy. It was dangerous to the system. He called out police brutality, racism, and political hypocrisy.
Which still resonates to this day. Still resonates to this day. So keep that in mind, man. Like, this album still holds up to this day, bro. For real, for real. And there's no doubt about that. For real, for real.
People want to hear it, but they couldn't ignore it. The backlash was instant. Some called the lyrics offensive. Others tried to twist the message. Michael stood firm. It's not anti-anything. It's cry against injustice. He later filmed not one, but two powerful music videos of the song, one in a Brazilian favela and the other in a prison. Both raw, both real, both unforgettable. Stranger in Moscow, a haunting, slow, emotional masterpiece. It wasn't about a breakup or lost love. It was about being alone in the world. Even in a crowd, even on a stage, Michael felt invisible. This was his quiet cry for help, and fans everywhere felt the pain in every note. How does it feel when you're alone and you're cold inside? He wasn't acting. He was telling the truth. Then came Earth Song, a thunderous ballad about the planet, war, poverty, and destruction. No artist, especially a pop star, had ever released something so massive, so spiritual, so dramatic. And yet, it became one of his most iconic songs. He performed live with such passion, it moved audiences to tears. In one performance, a fake tank rolled on stage. Michael stood in front of it, unshaken, holding a child's hand, a message of peace against violence. This wasn't just performance, this was protest. Childhood, probably his most personal song ever. Yeah. No beat, no flashy production, just an honest melody. He opened up about the childhood he never had, always working, always rehearsing, never getting to play, laugh, or just be a kid. Have you seen my...
And I'm gonna be honest, this is just me. Of course, this is definitely one of his most personal songs, but me personally, from the outside looking in, it's not my favorite. It's not. If I could go back in time and delete a song from this album, it will probably have to be Childhood. You know what I'm saying? Childhood and Lil Susie.
Maybe, just maybe, people finally started to understand the man behind the mystery. And finally, You Are Not Alone, a tender ballad that topped the charts. Beneath the romance was deeper. It was Michael reminding fans and himself that even though the world turns its back on you, you're never truly alone. Every song had purpose. Every lyric had meaning. This wasn't pop. This wasn't marketing. This was poetry, protest, power. And for Michael, it was personal. Michael Jackson didn't just release history. He threw a grenade into the heart of the system that tried to break him. And the world reacted, fast. The loudest backlash came from, "They don't care about us." While the song was clearly a protest against racism and injustice, some groups accused Michael of using offensive lyrics. They didn't listen to the full message. They didn't care about context. The media twisted it, calling it hateful. But Michael explained, the song is about the pain of prejudice and hate. It's not anti-anything. It's about humanity. Still, the pressure mounted. Michael was forced to go back and re-record the song, removing certain words, even though they were meant to expose, not insult. And that wasn't all. Some of history's music videos were banned or censored on major TV networks. Scenes were cut, messages were blurred. They said it was too aggressive, too political, or too emotional. But fans knew better. The media didn't want to confront the issues Michael was raising. They wanted him to sing and dance, but not to speak. They wanted the entertainer, not the truth teller. Michael stood his ground. He didn't apologize for caring. He didn't back down from his message, because by then, it was bigger than him. They tried to silence him, but it was too late. The message was already heard.
Right. Exactly. They definitely tried to silence him, for real.
Despite the controversy, despite media spin, despite the censorship attempts, history was a massive success. The public heard the pain, the passion, the power, and they responded. The album went on to sell over 20 million copies worldwide. Not bad for a double-disc protest album critics thought would flop. In fact, it became the best-selling multi-disc album by a solo artist in history. That's right, another Guinness World Record to his name. But Mike wasn't done. He wanted to take history to people, and so he launched what would become his most ambitious tour ever, the History World Tour. It wasn't just big, it was legendary. Michael,
which is one of my favorite tours. I really like the History Tour. Like, it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? And you don't see people putting on shows like that now. You know what I'm saying? But the History Tour was amazing, man. I loved it.
Performed 82 concerts across 35 countries, playing to over 4.5 million fans, making it the biggest solo tour of all time at that point. From Germany to New Zealand, from Brazil to South Africa, people didn't just come to see a pop star. They came to witness a revolution in motion. And then there was the statue campaign. In one of the boldest marketing moves in music history, Michael had giant statues of himself shipped around the world, some as tall as 30 feet. They stood in cities like London, Berlin, and Prague. Powerful symbols of a man who refused to be erased. He wasn't just promoting an album. He was reminding the world who he was. The history era wasn't just about sales or performances. It was a full-blown cultural moment. And Michael, he made sure they'd never forget it.
His legacy footage.
History wasn't just another album in Michael Jackson's catalog. It was his most fearless, most personal, and most human project.
Yep.
This was Michael stripped of the mask. No moonwalk, no glitter glove, just raw truth. He sang about injustice before it was trending. He challenged racism, media lies, global destruction, and the pain of fame, when almost no other mainstream artist dared to go there. At a time when the world wanted him silent, he spoke louder than ever, not with anger, but with art. And the beauty of history, it's timeless. Decades later, during the Black Lives Matter protests, they don't care about his return, louder than ever. Crowds across the globe marched.
And that's why I said, bro, like, this album, the song They Don't Care About Us, this stuff still resonates to this day, bro. This stuff is still happening. And Mike talked about this 30 years ago, bro. Like, yo, this stuff still resonates, man. And like, it's kind of sad that this stuff is still happening, man.
The song was still going on.
Yes.
And maybe that's what makes history more than just music. It's a mirror. It shows us who Michael was, but also who we are and what we still haven't fixed. I'm tired of injustice. I'm tired of the lies. That's what Michael said. And through history, he made sure the world couldn't ignore it. 30 years later, history still hits like a punch to the chest. It wasn't just music. It was Michael's soul carved into sound, a voice that refused to be silenced, a man who turned pain into purpose and truth into legacy. If you've ever felt misunderstood, if you've ever been judged, doubted, or torn down, listen to history again. Because Michael made that album for you. What's your favorite track from history? Drop it in the comments and tell us why it speaks to you. And remember, legends don't die, they echo.
That was deep. That's gonna do it for this video, man. And you know, history still resonates to this day, man. The songs still resonate to this day because we're still dealing with these issues, man. You know what I'm saying? And they tried to silence Mike, but Mike's like, nah, y'all not going to silence me. I'm going to tell my truth. I'm going to tell the people what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he ended up doing. You know what I'm saying? We're still dealing with these issues today, man. But history, man, like, it's a really great album, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should actually react to the history album. Let me know if y'all want me to do that, because like I do want to start reacting to more music and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all thinking that in the comment box, though. But like, history, like, it's definitely one of his most personal albums. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is, man. You know, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do too much talking. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get straight to the point. You know, if you guys like what you see, man, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click that bell. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be notified whenever I do make new videos. And you like this video, man, just give it a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? But I've been your boy Nick, man, and I'll see y'all in the next video, bruh. Peace. And you see I brought the glasses back, bruh. Peace.